Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 2112. Your natural pace might surprise you. And this is, sorry, it's got an itchy nose. This is part 2 of Reclaiming Your Rhythm series, which is what we're looking at this week. But before we get into that, I wanted to, last week we were talking about becoming. And I mentioned that I had this really cool picture of a phoenix, one that I created through digital art, through AI art and stuff. So I wanted to, and I kept saying I was going to bring it on to show you, and I totally forgot. But tonight I remembered. So this is my piece of AI art that I created with the phoenix rising up. And this is what we're like when we're becoming. We're the phoenix rising from the ashes to become who we are supposed to be. And we keep evolving and we keep moving. So that's my glorious piece of phoenix rising from the ashes. I absolutely love how this turned out. It was totally awesome. So yeah, that's my phoenix. Anyway, so tonight we are talking about your natural pace may surprise you. And as I said, it's part 2 of the Reclaiming Your Rhythm series, which is what we are concentrating on this week, is reclaiming your rhythm. So we have a different theme each day, or related as part of the Reclaiming Your Rhythm series. So many of us are moving too fast. I totally get that. Not because we want to, but because we forgot how to slow down. And I have to say, this is the biggest one that gets me every single time, because I get caught up in the hype. I get caught up with everybody else, and we'll talk about some of those as we go through this podcast. But when I'm back in New Zealand, when I go back and visit New Zealand, I just feel like I have put the brakes on and I have slowed down. And I could be down there for a week and I feel like I've been gone for 3. It is just, it was a much slower. I don't know if it's still like that. I'm going to find out when I get down there in a few weeks. But it's just a slower pace. And when we're and I have to tell you this, when we're on the Cook Islands, time didn't exist. We had a very loaded, we had 3 nights in the Cook Islands. We had very busy days. We did have some downtime built in there, but we were constantly on the go. And I remember we got there one day at like 7 o'clock in the morning. The plane landed. We got checked in through passport control and customs, which was super, super easy. It was unbelievable. It was very laid back. We get there and we're in passport control, and it's got like these 3 desks that go across with the little, the people passer throughers thingies, the ropes up, so you have to zigzag backwards and forwards. And then you could see the baggage belt on the other side, and sitting on top of the baggage claim thing in that middle piece where they have it built, this one they had built up, was a guy sitting there playing the guitar and singing as everybody came in. And as he saw people that he knew, he'd stop singing and go, "Hey, John, how are you doing? How long are you back for this time?" And he was greeting people that he knew that were in line. It was an incredible experience. And then we went and got our bags, and we'd already filled in the custom forms on the plane. So we got our bags, and I'm sort of like, okay, so we head over to this door, and there's these 2 custom agents standing there, and you hand them the form. They look at it and go, "Thank you, have a great day," and you walk on through, and you're done. That was immigration and passport control. That was customs and immigration. It was very quick, very simple. But so that was our first day, and we got to the hotel, and we basically had time off in the morning. And then we had to meet down at reception at a certain time so we could get taken to our first hotel tour. And I think we did 3 that day. One was hosting us for lunch, one hosted us for dinner, and we saw 1 or 2 in between. It was a very full afternoon. And then the next morning we had to be at the reception by 7 o'clock, because we're then heading to the airport to catch a plane to jump across to Arataki, because Rarotonga is the main island in the Cook Islands. And then we were catching the flight to Arataki. We were going to be going on to Vaka, which is the Polynesian catamaran, and on the Arataki Lagoon. And many people will know the Arataki Lagoon because they use it for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit model edition. Most times, if you see beachy scenes, it's probably at Arataki on the lagoon. They also did Cook Island Survivor on Arataki, and we actually got to go to one of the islands where one of the tribes lived, and they're set up still there with the wooden little table, the half coconut shells that they were using for cups and plates and things like that. And you'd walk through and they go, that island's where they did the challenge. That's where they did the the thing at the end where you eliminate people. And then that's the island over there where the other tribe was. And so you got to see that as we're going around the islands. But I will tell you this, we get on the Te Vaka the next morning after we'd already done a hotel tour and had breakfast at the hotel. After we got out of our plane, the shuttle picked us up, took us to this hotel. We got on Te Vaka at the hotel after we'd finished our tour of the hotel. We'd had breakfast, done the tour of the hotel. We hopped on Te Vaka. And Katu was the name of our guide that day. He was awesome. And he comes over to us and he realizes that we were the group of travel agents, travel professionals that were there. There was eight agents, 8 of us travel professionals, and 2 people from Air New Zealand Vacations. There was a guy from Air New Zealand and somebody from Air New Zealand Vacations. And he comes over and he goes, "Oh, when did you guys arrive on the Cook Islands?" And we're like looking around each other and go, "Was it yesterday?" And we're sort of like, wait, what's today? We had no clue of the concept of time. It was awesome. And even though we were kind of rushed, the fact that we felt like things had slowed down completely on the Cook Islands. It was slower than New Zealand. I have to tell you, it was awesome. So how did I get onto that? Anyway, so based on where you are, you could be influenced by racing around like a chicken without your head on, or just kicking back, relaxing a little bit, and just going at a much slower pace. So many of us are moving too fast, not because we want to, but because we forgot to how to slow down. Others, they're dragging their feet in routines that no longer fit the energy of who they've become. Tonight, we're talking about your natural pace, the one that isn't based on hustle or fear, but presence. Pace is personal. Your ideal rhythm may not match what the world expects. There is no universal right speed, just your sustainable one. So whatever speed you can go at that you can sustain, that's your pace. You may be faster than you thought in some areas and gentler in others. You don't need to, and some of you may have seen this post out this morning because we put this meme out across the different platforms this morning, but it says you don't need to go fast to get where you're going. You just need to go at the pace that keeps your soul intact. Why we lose our natural rhythm? Cultural obsession with productivity and urgency. Here in the States, it is very much live to work. Other places in the world, we work to live. Very different concept. And because of that cultural obsession of living to work, it's a higher, there's this thing with productivity and urgency. We've got to make the money, you've got to keep going. And when you're doing it the other way, where you're working to live, it's a very different pace and a very different dynamic. Family dynamics are another way that we can lose our natural rhythm. We're the busy family. They've got kids going to soccer practice and dance practice and basketball practice and volleyball and football and baseball. They've got them going to all these different sporting events or different hobbies and things that they're doing. And I'm sort of like, when do the kids have time to do their homework? Yeah, and yet somehow they get their homework done. They do all these sports activities, do all these extracurricular activities, and somehow they manage to get their homework done. I'm like, how? Yeah, so this is we're busy family. The calendar is full. And in some places, slow means lazy. Slow means lazy. So think about that. Think about your dynamics in your household. Some people go at a faster pace than others, and somebody's always called lazy because they go at a slower pace than everybody else. That's their pace. Allow them to be. Past trauma or chronic overfunctioning. Yeah. Past traumas can help. You kind of live in a state of fear. Is this going to happen again? Is it not going to happen? I've got to get this done. I've got to get that done. Even grief. Grief is a big one, because sometimes in grief you feel like, oh, I've got to get up and I've got to do this. I've got to make up for this. I've got to make up for that. And then grief will suddenly hit you and you're like, I don't have time to grieve. There's times that you go through that too, and it can upset your rhythm. Constant comparison to others' highlight reels. So you see other people with the real, talking briefly about what they've done. You go, oh, I haven't done that much. Or maybe I'm lazy. No, they're at their pace. You need to be at your pace. How to notice your true pace. When do you feel most alive or creative? What activities leave you energized versus depleted? When are you most yourself, not rushed, not numbed, just rooted? So ask yourself those questions. When do you feel the most alive or creative? Is it in the quiet morning? Is it when you don't have that pressure on? Like, you could be working from home and everybody's gone off to school and work and everything else. And now you have that time to sit down and go, and just start into your pace. And that is the time you feel most alive and creative, because you don't have the outside pressures of the rest of the family in the household. I tell you, living by yourself is a whole new ballgame. For me, Brad passed when I was 50, almost 51. And for the first time in my life, I was living alone. And for the first time in my life, all the decisions were mine. And to be honest, it scared the crap out of me. It totally scared the crap out of me. There's still times where I'm sort of like, oh no, Brad used to do that, and I have to learn how to do that. And I was so out of sync with myself, because I suddenly had all of this extra responsibility on top of me, because Brad used to do that. And now I have to do it, or I have to learn how to do it. So now I feel pressured. So it was putting me out of sync. Once I figured things out and also learned how to ask for help, things became a little easier, and I was able to get back some of my energy. Now, there's times that I'm still, out of whack with my pace. I know it. I listen to my body, and I know when I am out of whack, because I'm just a hot mess when I'm out of whack. So what reclaiming your rhythm can look like: saying no to things that speed you up unnecessarily. Sort of like, hey, I got this last minute job. Can you fit it in? Can you do it? We've got to get it done by blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, you have to give me all the information first. Oh, yeah, we'll get that to you. And then they want you to rush a job. And then they don't give you the information that you need to complete the job. So therefore, you now miss the deadline because they haven't provided the thing. And you're like freaking out because, whereas the stuff, I've got to do it. I've got to get it in. Blah, 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 blah. I've agreed to do it. So sometimes you have to turn and say, no, I can't do that right now. I can do it tomorrow. Or, you look at your calendar and you say, look, I can fit it in here, but this is what you're going to need to provide me before that, because I cannot do that job without this information. Or I need this information from you in order to do this. And this is what I'm going to put in the calendar. But it's just sort of like, sometimes you just got to say no, because they're putting their own pressure onto you, which is putting you out of sync with your pace. Building margin into your days, even 15 minutes at a time. So if you've been sitting at your desk for like 40, 50 minutes, get up for 15 minutes, go for a walk, go dance around the house, just go sit out in the sun for 5 minutes and get that dopamine going through you again and boosting your energy levels. Maybe it's walking around in the grass in bare feet just to ground yourself. But build those margins into your day so that you're not feeling overwhelmed. You're not feeling like, head down, tail up, and busy working away like a little busy bee. Remember to honor when you do feel pulled into moving quickly, and trusting when you don't. You listen to your body. Yes, there are times it's sort of like I get in the zone and I totally lose track of time. So I'm now having to put reminders on that will ding and get me, and that noise gets me out of that route, out of that zone, so I can say, oh, what do I need to do now? Because it's helping me. Oh, I've got to take a 15-minute break. Oh, do I want to take a 15-minute break? I'm really on the zone right now. Oh, we've broken the zone. We've got to go take our break. So honor when you do feel pulled to move quickly, and trusting when you don't. So here are some questions for reflection. And remember, you can write these in the journal. And I'm just waiting for word from Amazon for the physical copy of the journal to be available on Amazon. We have submitted it. We're waiting for it. Their 72 hours is almost up. I haven't heard anything from them since they said that it's been, I know that the Kindle version can't be done because it's a journal. And they don't allow journals to be put on in Kindle format. So this is waiting for the physical book to be live on Amazon so that we can let you guys know. But in the meantime, we do have, if you go up here and click on the Porch News, scan the QR code up here in the corner, you can go and sign up for our free weekly newsletter. It comes out Monday. It comes out on Mondays, and usually Monday morning, sometimes in the afternoon, depending on where in the mailing list you are, because we schedule it to go out in batches. and you'll get a free copy. You can download a free copy of the electronic version of the sample. And I will tell you this, that the sample has 5 prompts in there with 5 blank pages, and these reflection questions can be put on those blank pages. But here's the cool part. The physical copy that's coming has 21 prompts that are not the same as the 5. We actually increased the prompts when we were getting ready to do the physical copy. So we actually have 21 prompts in there and 22 pages that are not prompted, unprompted pages, free pages. And so those 21 prompts are different to the 5 that are in the sample. So go to that, and then you can put these questions we're about to ask you, which are in the description below. Put them in there and answer them in the journal. What part of your life is moving too fast, and how is that affecting you? Is there a part of your life that is moving too fast where you've got to put the brakes on and slow down? And how is it affecting you? Where have you been holding back because of fear, not intuition? There's sometimes I will look at something and I'll go, yeah, I really need to get that done. And like I can pick, and then when I say I really need to get that done, I can picture myself in my head picking up whatever it is and going to do it and actually doing it. I can picture myself doing that. And I just sit there and just look at it and go, yeah, no, and walk away. Is it because of fear? Is there a block in there? Or is it because it's not, because I'm not listening to my intuition about it? Like, I just say, look, you just got to walk over there and pick it up. You can at least do that. And I'm sort of like, yeah, I could walk over there. And then as soon as I say walk over there and pick it up, I actually picture myself walking over there, picking up whatever it is and saying, okay, now we need to go to, like, for example, the laundry, picking up the laundry basket, taking it down to the laundry room, which happens to be right next to my office, and then putting the stuff into the washing machine and putting the detergent in there and turning it all on and everything else. And I can picture myself doing that. And then I look at the basket and I just go and walk away. So was it because of fear of doing laundry or something? I mean, when I was living in the RV, I had to put the laundry into bags, put the bags into the car, drive over to the laundromat, which was at the resort, make sure I had my thing of quarters, or I had the app downloaded with money on it for the machines that I could use that. And it was just a whole hassle. I mean, it took me 2 hours to get laundry done because I had to go in and put the laundry in the machines, then transfer it, and then I had to wait there because I don't like you leaving it there. But I would actually go sit in the library next door and have the timer going. And then I would go back, take everything out, put it into the dryers, and I'd have to make sure the dryers didn't have the lint in it, that there was no marks on the inside of the dryers that could affect my laundry, all of that sort of stuff when you're using stuff that everybody else uses. And then when it was all finished, it was then folding it and putting it back into the bags, putting the bags back into the car, driving back to the RV. Yeah, all that stuff. It was such a hassle. Now I have it right here next to me. And the problem is walking it, the 20, 30 paces from the bedroom down to the laundry room. And I can picture myself doing it and putting the stuff in the washing machine. But I'm getting better. I am getting better at doing that. What would happen? And then the third question is, what would happen if you gave yourself permission to match your natural rhythm? What would happen? I would tell you this, when I am in my natural rhythm, I don't think about, I have to go empty the dishwasher, or I have to go wash the dishes, or I have to cook, I have to do meal prep, or I don't think about what needs to be done. I just do it. When I am in my natural rhythm, I just do things without thinking, I have to do laundry. No, it's just like walk into the bedroom, pick up the laundry basket, walk down, put the washing on, and there's no thought about doing it at all. It's coming into the office, it's sitting down, it's doing the paperwork. It's when you're in your natural rhythm, you just naturally do things without any forethought. You don't sit there and go, well, I have to do this today, I have to do that today. No, just get up and just start moving around and you will be amazed. And these days I just get into and some days it could be the morning, I'm just like lazing about, and then it was like about 2:00 in the afternoon. So like, I just get up and I walk around and go, that needs doing, and I'll just start doing it. Or I'll just walk in the kitchen and I'll wash the lunch dishes. It's just simple things like that you just naturally start to do when you're in your natural rhythm, and you just move from one thing to the other. You might be doing multiple things at once. It might be like, you put the laundry on and then you go and do some meal prep. While that's cooking, you go take the stuff out of the dryer, you fold it, you put it away, or you hang it up. And then you go back and whatever you were cooking is now ready to be put into your meal prep containers. So you then dish it up into the meal prep containers, and then, or on the way back, you stop in the laundry and you take the stuff out of the washing machine, put it into the dryer, turn that on. Then you go into the kitchen and you put your stuff into your meal prep containers. You leave the lids off so it can all cool down. And then you just go and pick up and get the vacuum cleaner and start vacuuming, or get the broom and start sweeping. And you've given no thought about what you're doing. None. You just do it. You're just standing there, well, if I do this, and then if I go and put the laundry on, then while that's going through, I can meal prep and get that cooking. Then while that's cooking, I go take the stuff out of the dryer and put, because the dryer's now on, so I'll put that and fold that stuff and put it away. Then I'll come back and then I can switch the stuff from the washing machine into the dryer, and then I can go finish, and then put the next load on, and then I can go into the kitchen and I can take all the milk. You're not thinking about that. You just do it. So think about times that when you just do things without thinking about it, that's you being in your natural rhythm. So take notice of those times when you're in that time and go, oh, notice how you feel. Why did you start doing that? And some of the times I'm still like, why did I start doing all of this? When did I get all that done? And you're sort of like, because it just flows. When it flows, it's good. It's a good thing. So in closing tonight, your life isn't a race, it's a rhythm. And your story becomes clearer when you stop chasing the beat and start listening for your own. Think about that. Your life isn't a race, it's a rhythm. And your story becomes clearer when you stop chasing the beat and start listening for your own. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific.